Now we're going to review part 6 of your test. So what you see here, this is what is going to be on part 6 of your test. Okay, these are rate equation problems. We need to write the letter equation and then solve the problem. So for A, I'll just pull A down here and work it. Snail moves at the rate of 5 centimeters per minute. How long will it take the snail to travel 105 centimeters? Well, I look at this problem, my 2 units are centimeters and minutes. And the question is, how long will it take? Well, I would answer that in minutes. Okay? So I know minutes is in my answer. If minutes is in my answer, it's also on top of the fraction, which means centimeters is on the bottom, and centimeters is what we'll multiply by. I'm looking for my relationship for my fraction. It says 5 centimeters per minute. So in my fraction, 5 centimeters per minute, centimeters is on the bottom, so my 5 has to go on the bottom, and remember, per minute means 1 minute. And then it also tells me that the snail is going to travel 105 centimeters. So now all I have left to do is take the 1/5 times 105, and that is 21. So it would take the snail 21 minutes to travel the 105 centimeters. Okay, let's also take a look at B. So B says books and puzzles are sold in a ratio of 8 to 3. If 24 puzzles are sold, how many books are sold? Well, my 2 units are books and puzzles, and the question says how many books. So books is what is going to go in my answer. Again, if books is in my answer, books is on top, puzzles is on the bottom, and puzzles is what we'll multiply by. So I don't need to look for my relationship. It says books and puzzles are sold in a ratio of 8 to 3. So books goes with the 8, puzzles goes with the 3. So in my fraction, I'll put the 8 for books and the 3 for puzzles. And then it also tells me that there were 24 puzzles sold. So that goes outside of the parentheses. That's what we're going to multiply by. So I just need to take 8/3 times 24. And when you do that, you'll get 64. So there were 64 books. All right, you should pause the video right now and work on C and D on your own. When you have those completed, you can go ahead and continue the video and start reviewing for part 7 of your test. So this is what is on part 7 of your test. Okay, for each circle, we're going to write a simple equation for the radius, for the diameter, and then we're going to figure out the circumference. So for circle A, my radius, again, radius is from the middle of from the center of the circle to the edge. So that's what's given to us. It's giving us the radius is 6 inches. Okay, the diameter of this circle, the diameter is always twice as much as the radius. So 6 times 2 is 12, so my diameter is 12. Now remember, circumference equals pi times diameter. So I'm going to write that equation, and then I'm going to substitute the 12 in for the d because 12 is my diameter. When I take pi times 12, I get about 37.70 inches here. Okay, again, I would encourage you to use your pi key on your calculator. That will be more accurate than using 3.14. All right, for B, this time my radius is not given, but my diameter is. Okay, remember diameter goes all the way across the circle through the center. So I know my diameter is 20, and I know my radius is half of that. So my radius is 10 inches. Half of 20 is 10. Okay, again, we got to find the circumference. That equals pi times diameter. So I substitute my diameter, which is 20, in there for D. And when I punch into my calculator, pi times 20, I get about 62.83, and my units would be inches. Okay, so what you should do here is pause the video, work on C and D on your own, and then when you are done with those, continue the video and start reviewing for part 8. Okay, so next here, this is going to be on part 8 of your test. Okay, we are combining sign numbers or multiplying sign numbers on here. So A, we have negative 1.3 minus 1.7. Okay, so we are combining numbers. When we combine numbers, the sign in our answer is the same as the sign of the number that's furthest from 0. So 1.7 is furthest from 0, so I know my answer is going to be negative because 1.7 has a negative sign in front of it. Now remember, when we're combining numbers, if the signs are the same, we add the numbers. If the signs are different, we would subtract the numbers. So in A here, they're both negative, so we'll add 1.3 and 1.7 together and get 3. So our answer is negative 3. For B, we have negative 1/3 times positive 6. Okay, remember the parentheses tell you to multiply. So we're doing a negative times a positive. So when we multiply, if the signs are the same, it's positive. If the signs are different, it's a negative answer. So negative 1/3, positive 6, the signs are different. I will get a negative answer. 1/3 times 6 is going to give me 6/3, and I can simplify that to negative 2. Okay, letter C. Again, the parentheses tell me we're multiplying. Okay, negative times a negative, the signs are the same, so I know my answer is going to be positive. 5 times 1 is 5, so we have positive 5. The positive symbol is optional. You don't have to write that if you don't want to. Okay, D. Now we have positive 8 minus 3, so we're combining these. Again, the sign in your answer takes the sign of the one that's furthest from 0. So the positive 8 is further from 0, so my answer is going to be positive. Remember, when you're combining, if the signs are the same, you would add the two numbers together. If the signs are different, you subtract the two numbers. So in D, my signs are different, so I'm going to subtract those two numbers. 8 minus 3 is 5, so my answer is positive 5. Again, pause the video. Work on letters E, F, G, and H on your own. When you complete those, go ahead and continue the video and review for part 9 of your test. All right, so this is going to be part 9 on your test, and you're simplifying fractions with decimals in them on this one. So the first thing you need to do is make these into whole numbers. So if I look at A, the 0.24, I need to move that decimal twice to make that 24. Now if I move that one twice, I have to move the bottom one twice as well. So when I do that, I have this spot. Remember, I fill that in with a 0. All right, so it's 24 over 80. You can simplify it in your head, or if you want to use the math button on your calculator with the fraction function, you can do that as well. 24 over 80 is going to simplify to 3/10. For letter B, again, you need to move the decimal so that you get two whole numbers. So the first one, I need to move it once to make it 27. If I move that one once, I move this one once. So I have 27 over 45. And again, 27 over 45, simplify that, simplifies down to 3/5. Okay, so C, just looking at C here, I'm going to have to move that decimal point 1, 2, 3 times here. If I move it 3 times there, I have to move it 3 times on the bottom. Okay, so you can continue with C and then do D. Pause the video, and then when you're done with those two, you can go ahead and resume the video and go on to reviewing for Part 10.